The secret hidden in train wheels? You never noticed. What if I told you that something as simple as a train wheel holds a genius secret that keeps thousands of tons of metal perfectly on track? Sounds unbelievable, right? Every day, trains travel at high speeds across long distances, taking sharp turns and carrying massive loads, yet they almost never slip off the tracks. Most people think it's because of the rails or maybe the flanges on the wheels. But the real magic? It's hidden in the shape of the wheels. At first glance, train wheels look normal, round and smooth. But in reality, they are not perfectly cylindrical. Instead, they have a slightly conical shape, and this tiny design detail changes everything. This simple engineering trick solves two massive problems at once. It keeps the train centered on the track. And it allows smooth turning without complex mechanisms. And once you understand how it works, you'll never look at trains the same way again. A simple experiment that explains everything. Let's imagine a small experiment. Take 2 paper cups and glue them together from the bottom. Now place them on a pair of rails and roll them forward. What happens? They move in a straight line, perfectly stable. Even if you try to tilt them slightly at the start, they still correct themselves and keep moving straight. It's almost like they want to stay in the center. Now try something different. Glue the cups in the opposite direction and roll them again. This time, they fail. They wobble, lose balance, and drift away from the center. So what changed? Just the shape. This simple experiment reveals the same principle used in rail train wheels. That slight conical design creates something incredible, a natural ability to stay balanced and centered. But how does that actually happen? The hidden force that pulls trains back to center. Now let's go deeper. When a train moves on a straight track, forces act between the wheels and the rails. These forces push upward and sideways depending on the shape of the wheel. When the train is perfectly centered, everything is balanced. The forces cancel each other out. But what if the train shifts slightly to one side? Something fascinating happens. Because of the conical shape, the wheels tilt slightly. And when they tilt, the forces acting on them also change direction. This creates a net force that pushes the train back toward the center. In simple words, if the train moves right, a force pushes it left. If it moves left, a force pushes it right. It's like the train is constantly correcting itself, automatically. No sensors. No computers. No extra systems. Just pure physics and smart design. And as soon as the train returns to the center, the force disappears again. This is called a self-centering mechanism, and it's one of the smartest passive engineering solutions ever created. Of course, trains also have flanges, those inner edges on wheels, as a backup safety feature. But most of the time, they don't even need them. The genius trick that helps trains turn smoothly. Now let's talk about turns. When a train takes a curve, the outer wheel has to travel a longer distance than the inner wheel. But here's the problem. Both wheels are connected by the same axle. That means they rotate at the same speed. So how is it possible for one wheel to travel more distance than the other? This is where the conical shape becomes pure genius. As the train enters a turn, the wheels slightly shift sideways. Because of this shift, the outer wheel rides on a larger radius. The inner wheel rides on a smaller radius. And since distance equals rotation times radius, the outer wheel naturally travels farther. The inner wheel travels less. No need for complex gear systems like in cars. In cars, engineers had to invent a differential system to solve this problem. But trains? They solved it with just a simple tapered shape. Elegant. Efficient. Brilliant. A simple design. That changed everything. Here's where everything comes together. That tiny conical angle in train wheels keeps the train centered automatically. Allows smooth turning without slipping. Reduces the need for complex mechanical systems. Improves safety and efficiency. And there's more. During turns, the same forces that try to center the train also help provide the centripetal force needed to stay on the curve. That means the design doesn't just fix problems. It works together with physics to make the entire system more stable. It's one of those rare engineering solutions where simplicity meets perfection. So next time you see a train rushing past, remember this. Behind that smooth motion lies a hidden design so clever, it quietly controls thousands of tons of steel without anyone even noticing. And that's the beauty of true engineering. If you enjoyed discovering this hidden engineering secret, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay curious, because the world is full of amazing designs waiting to be uncovered.